Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast. Movie Film Podcast, enjoy the show. Zachy and Brian are talking about movies. Movie Film Podcast on the radio. Welcome to a movie film commentary track. My name is Zachy Hassan, and I'm here with Brian Hall, and this is a pandemic playlist.
Welcome, everybody.
As we sit in our hyperbaric bunkers.
Fortunately, with our copies of Batman Forever.
Can you imagine? Like, this is the only movie. Like before the bombs dropped, you had enough time to grab, 5 gallons of water, a couple rolls of toilet paper, hopefully. Maybe not these days, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
And one Blu-ray, and this was the one that was in arm's length.
Right. And you take a split second, Yeah.
Batman Forever is a very interesting movie because and I said this earlier this week to one of our listeners, Phil Barker. I said, it's not a good movie, but I like it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm giving it some guff. But, we'll get into it a little bit more. But this one, coming off of 2 movies by one visionary director, this was a big shift.
Yes.
And it's like you had to adjust. And I think certainly with time, I've said before on the podcast where Batman and Robin feels like the T3, right?
Sure.
The Batman films where people are like, yeah, I know it's not, but it's okay though.
That's a metaphor we seem to be using a lot lately.
Yeah, it's pretty apt. It's understandable. But the Batman and Robin is the one that gets pooped on all the time. No, I'll save all this.
Yeah.
We got 2 hours.
We always talk about it. So this year is the 25th anniversary of this movie, and so this is always on our agenda to do a commentary this year. And then as we are discussing this, just to put a little stick pin in time for the space aliens who are listening to this later, we are recording this as a global pandemic has literally engulfed the country. That's a weird sentence. I didn't think I'd be saying on January 3rd. I didn't think I'd be saying that this year.
It's very funny, very similar to that. Back in January, there was this concert that I was going to take my brother to this past Friday, and we decided not to go. And I was like, if you had told me, and I kept it as a surprise. So for 3 months, I didn't tell him about it. And it was going to be a surprise. And I was like, if you had told me in January when I'd first decided about the show that we couldn't go because of a worldwide pandemic, you would just be like, what?
Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah.
So that's just what 2020 is doing,
Yeah. It's interesting too, because we'll see how this all goes, right? But it's just an interesting moment in time, like you said, just to sort of, as a little history marker here on the show.
That's exactly right. And so the Hollywood releases are being moved around and productions are being shut down. So I could see a scenario where our regular show, which I have no reason to think won't continue on as it is, we'll have a lot less stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I wonder. I can imagine we might even do an episode once this sort of levels out and we get a better view of what's really going to happen. But at the moment, I saw that even movie theaters are limiting how many people can go into a theater, right? They're cutting it. If capacity is 500, they're only allowing about 250 people. So we don't really know what the coming months. Obviously there are bigger things to think about, but this being an entertainment-related podcast, and looking at entertainment-related things, it's interesting to see how this is all going to play out. And obviously, I just had a thing pop up on my phone, and it said that it looks like Hollywood's going to take a $20 billion hit, from this. And it's easy to just think, so I don't get Fast and Furious for another year or something. But that's a lot of people's livelivelihoods.
That's
a lot of jobs.
Makeup artists, cable pullers.
Yep. I have a friend of mine who's in the AD department, and she was on. All the shows are basically being shut down at this point. And she's like, so what does this mean?
Yeah.
When does work start up again for me? And I don't know.
Well, for me, what it means is the next 3 weeks, I'm going to be holed up at home along with my children.
Yes, right.
Whew. So that's why I'm locked up in my room right now watching Batman Forever with you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's another thing too. I mean, this will be an interesting time to like take a look back and see what we got the time.
We got the time. It's like, well, what else do you want to watch?
Yeah. What else do we want to reflect on?
There's going to be a lot of, I think, off the beaten path selections that we make for commentary tracks, just for the hell of it, you know.
Why not? Yeah,
I'm down. Hey, maybe we can finally do that Godfather commentary track I've been wanting to do.
Ooh, yeah. You know, I was talking to some friends of mine, and we were sort of joking around, like maybe it's time to start The Wire. You know? But then it's just like, oh no, everyone's gonna be watching like Love Island and everything instead. You know,
it does feel like The Wire is one of those shows that is widely acknowledged as one of the greatest shows of all time. That I'm willing to wager most of the people saying that have never actually seen it.
Right, or completed, or
it's like on their list of like, I know I will love it.
Yes,
when I watch it, but I'll watch it one of these days.
Someday.
Exactly.
I have every intention.
Well, if a global pandemic doesn't get you to watch The Wire...
Yeah, that's quite a barometer.
That's the barometer. Let's get into the movie.
Batman Forever, let's do it.
25 years of Batman Forever. So there is only one cut available of Batman Forever. However, there is a mysterious director's cut that you know... We need like a hashtag release the Schumacher cut hashtag.
There is? I didn't know that.
There is a version supposedly that is substantially darker. That Joel Schumacher originally wanted to make, but we'll save that for from.
Yeah.
So we'll do our usual thing. I will go 1, 2, 3, play, and if you want, you can watch along with us, and if not, well, hopefully we'll keep our conversation interesting enough that you feel compelled to listen while you're indoors jogging.
Yes, that's right.
These days. So here we go.
Ready? Hold me, thrill me, kiss me, kill me, and get ready to join us.
There you go. And if you do get a kiss from a rose, make sure you wash your hands afterwards.
I'm having a great time already with you, Zachy.
Okay. Here we go.
Yep.
So on 3, play.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, play. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, play.
All right.
And there's the old-timey Warner Bros. Logo. And right away we know something is different in Gotham City because this is not Danny Elfman's music.
Yes. Who did this, actually?
This is Elliot Goldenthal. Now, look at right there. First name,
yep.
a Tim Burton production.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they call lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Hey, it's kind of like Superman. The credits coming at the screen?
Yes. I think that might have been... I should say, the way these credits are flying at us, I remember being blown away by that when I saw it the first time.
Wow, that's funny. I don't recall. I'm sure I was, but I was
like,
remember.
Wow.
It's funny because I can see this looking really awesome at a certain time, but now it looks like the screensavers.
Yes.
You know, that you
like
used to have maybe about
Windows
15 years ago.
95.
Yeah. It's so funny. Well, should we talk about the Tim Burton thing? I mean, there's a lot of Tim Burton stories that go along with this movie, right?
Yes. Well. So Tim Burton does Batman Returns, which really should have been called Tim Burton's, Squiggly Hour.
Well, even further back, I mean, Batman '89 was sort of, in some ways, a first of its kind, right? Where it's Batman is like a really dark sort of movie, and it's kind of changes the landscape for superhero films, and it comes from a guy where they let him have like total control over his vision, and it's this global worldwide phenomenon, right? So then he gets to make his sequel. Right. And like you said, it's less a Batman movie and more a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, it's Tim Burton's Squiggly Circles featuring Batman. Yes,
like scary clowns.
Yes.
We should comment on this moment here. I'll take drive-through.
Yeah, so right away, Batman's got the jokes.
Yes.
He's got the puns. So we know this is a very different Batman.
Yeah, but same Alfred.
Same Alfred. So Alfred, played by Michael Gough here, and Pat Hingle, who plays Commissioner Gordon. Joel Schumacher said that he wanted both of them to continue on because he wanted them to be like Q and M in the James Bond movies.
Which is cool, I think. Makes sense.
A little bit of continuity. So the two Schumacher films are intended to exist within the same world of the two Burton ones, but I mean, it is so hard to line them up.
I don't think I ever put that connection together in my head.
Right. It's even though, I mean, it's worth pointing out that like in the 90s, Reboot Palooza like we have now wasn't as much of a thing.
Right.
Right. So the idea that you would reboot something was like, no, you don't. You play the ball where it lays and you keep going.
Yeah.
And even after Batman and Robin disappointed, I think the plan, at least initially, was okay. Well, we'll just come back and we'll do another sequel and we'll fix it.
Right. Let's go back to the Burton thing. Let's just knock that out.
Yes. So Tim Burton, with Batman Returns, he got to make the movie he wanted to make. So he was energized with that movie, and so the movie does very well. And he comes in, he's like, "All right, guys, I got so many ideas for the third one," and they're like, why don't you write them down and give them to my assistant Cindy? Can you take Mr. Burton's message whenever he calls? And thanks, Tim.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what he tells a story. What literally happened was, well, we should back up even further because with Batman Returns, Joker is an easy toy, right?
Yes.
But then you've got this grotesque-looking penguin who like is gurgling bile out of his mouth and shooting people and
sexually assaulting people or attempting.
Yeah, and biting people's noses till they squirt blood. And it's an intense movie, and McDonald's wasn't very happy.
Yes.
How do we make Happy Meals out of this sort of thing? And parents were, not enjoying this movie for their kids.
Yes.
So Tim Burton comes back in with a pitch, and he tells his story. So, taking his word at it. He said he was in the middle of a meeting pitching Batman 3, and as the meeting was happening, he went, "You guys don't want to do this, do you?" And they're like, let's think broader, and would you like to produce a Batman
They were
movie?
like Jason Bateman. Let's put a pin in it.
I can totally picture Jason Bateman playing one of the executives. Yeah. So they, for the sake of, it, like you said, it did really well, but it made, I almost must say, $100 million less than the returns than the first Batman, or something. Okay. Almost like 75, close to 100, something, still a lot, but not as much as the first one made. So they're like, okay, we've got to get the kids back. Right. So that was kind of the approach with this one, where it almost feels, it's still kind of, menacing is the wrong word, but it's very much like the 60s Batman.
It's gothic. It is gothic.
It's gothic. That's the perfect word. Gothic mixed with the 66 Batman. Right?
Right.
We got the canted angles and these really goofy over-the-top villains who are, and the colors, I mean, just looking at it right now.
Well, and real quick, I mean, Joel Schumacher, it's worth pointing out, like now...
I wanted to talk about him, yeah.
Like, his reputation has sort of been engulfed by Batman, right?
Yes.
But before Batman, he did The Lost Boys, he did Flatliners, he did, Falling Down, etc. Like, he was known for darker films.
Yes.
So it wasn't like a complete paradigm shift. Like, you can see the calculation Warner Brothers was making.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, if back then you're like, oh, the guy who made Lost Boys, yeah, he could do a good Batman movie.
Totally. Right? Yeah. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. His filmography is very... I was trying to think of someone to compare him to. I don't really... I mean, he did, A Time to Kill. And
yes.
So in the 90s, he was doing these sort of commercial John Grisham movies, but they didn't feel flavorless, right? Like, yes. I think of him as like a... I liked his movies when they were coming out,
Yeah.
But you're right. When you mention his name now, people only remember this.
I mean, it's a singularity that just engulfed him.
Yeah.
And he has a pretty healthy perspective on the whole thing.
Yeah, he's very fun in interviews about it, and like, well, yeah. And then as long as we're talking about businessy stuff, I mean, this movie came out and it did really well. It made $184 million domestic. $336
it
million
was
worldwide.
widely perceived as saving the franchise.
Yeah.
And by the way, the scene that we're watching right now with Val Kilmer as Batman, he is flipping around, he's doing stuff, he's running. We never got to see Keaton do any of that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right. So certainly for me as a Batman comic book fan in the mid 90s, I appreciated all of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, the sort of super heroic aspects of the thing.
You know what's funny? This is the scene where he's in this vault with the guard. I remember in the theater as like a 15-year-old kid being like, "Oh, this is different."
Yes.
And a lot of it, I didn't know what I was I couldn't have described it to you, but now I know what it is. I remember thinking, truly, this movie's loud.
It absolutely is. Everybody's yelling.
Yeah, and the music. There's this phenomenon that happened, and I'm not going to have.
Actually, Brian.
Yeah, go.
Everyone is yelling except Val Kilmer, who is like
yes,
somewhere he's just like monotone plus in this whole movie.
Yes, but so there's this phenomenon that happened with CDs where they were releasing all these CDs, and if you looked at the wave file, the physical waveform, it has like peaks and valleys, right? And that's what music used to sound like. But then at one point, people were like, we can compress it differently, so there is no space for air, and we overcompress it, and then it becomes rock music becomes like balls to the wall. There's just no breathing room, and it just sounds more powerful, right? And that became something that it sadly messed up the way music was mixed for a while. Anyway, this scene, if I were to look at the WAV file, I guarantee you, between the music and the sound effects, it is just pushed to the top and bottom where there's just no breathing room. And that's what I remember feeling in the theater, like, oh man, I'm kind of exhausted just from the like, sound of all of this.
What are we like? We're like 9 minutes in. You're like, all right, we're ready for a nap.
Yeah. So it is. It's a little different than what came before, but it's indicative of its time.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying, and I just to put a pin on the conversation we were having, let's put a pin in it. The conversation about Tim Burton.
Yes,
his name up top was essentially Warner Brothers kicking a few coins into his bucket for having no involvement in this movie, but he's the first name you see to lull people into thinking this is actually a continuation of anything he would have done or would have wanted to do.
Right.
So I have to imagine it's like the easiest paycheck he ever got.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And Schumacher, to his credit, was like, well, I'm not going to do it if Tim Burton isn't okay with it.
Yeah, which I thought was very gentlemanly.
Yeah, and again, worth pointing out too, we've talked about Val Kilmer here. The intention initially was that Michael Keaton was going to be back.
Yeah, which is hard to imagine. I don't know that I could reconcile him, and this feels like a different movie.
Yes.
Right?
It really does.
It's probably for the best that it...
Well, what's interesting is Michael Keaton gave now Michael Keaton, when he did the Batman movies, and this just shows what a different world it was back in 1992, he had a per movie contract. So, he didn't have a 6-picture Marvel Studios style deal.
Mm-hmm.
So when Batman Returns was out and he was promoting it, he gave an interview with a magazine called Comic Scene, and they asked him, would you do a third one? He says, if Tim does it, I'll be there. And so I remember when Burton left, I was like, I don't think Keaton's coming back.
Yeah.
I was 14 at the time.
right.
But I was like, I have my suspicions. And so I wasn't hugely surprised when he left. I was surprised that Val Kilmer was the choice. And it's funny because we talk about Michael Keaton, and historically it's remembered what a controversial choice he was, right?
Right.
And for me, I never experienced that controversy because Batman was the first time I saw Michael Keaton.
Same.
So I was just like, well, that's Batman. But I remember being really irked when I heard Val Kilmer, because I was like, Val Kilmer is Iceman. And,
funny.
Mad Mardigan, that's not Batman. And then, I was like, what's he going to look like in the suit? And then you see him in the suit, you're like, oh, okay, he looks like a guy in a Batman suit. And you're like, and you're like, oh, yeah, okay, I guess anybody can do it,
Right. We're a little ahead of it, but as the helicopter with Two-Face in it was flying through Gotham buildings, and then it goes through a billboard for electronic billboard for like an eye.
Yes.
I was like, man, I really love all this tactile bombast.
Yes.
You know, you just don't see this anymore.
I mean, you have to appreciate that Schumacher really went for it.
Yeah. And he didn't have the aid of computers. I mean, I'm sure there's
a few.
Let me take that back. Like a lot of CGI.
Yeah,
right.
Well,
like they had to build miniatures, and they're really blowing stuff. Like those are real flames. Like you can sense a difference.
You know what's interesting is the scene that we saw earlier. Look at this CG.
That was crazy.
But
we're looking at it. Just real quick for people. It's a camera panning through Gotham, which looks like a
it looks like a cutscene.
Rendered. It looks like what?
Like a cutscene from a video game.
It does. Yes.
No, but earlier when we see Batman like hanging from the helicopter, that's a digital stunt double. It's the first time I ever saw something like that in a movie.
Cool.
John Dykstra did the digital effects for this.
Right. He's the guy. Was he the dinosaur guy on Jurassic Park? Dykstra Vision, isn't that a thing?
Wasn't it Dennis Muren?
Well, Dennis Muren as well, but I think Dykstra. I could be wrong, but I think he had a lot to do with stop motion, and he had something called Dykstra Vision. Now I'm saying all this. Is all wrong.
Maybe initially.
Yeah.
He was maybe in the early goings when they were thinking about stop motion.
Yeah.
Possibly. I can look that up. So Jim Carrey, this is Pete Carey.
Yes. Yeah, this is 1995, right? So this is right after Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber and all that.
Yeah. And initially all the conversation about this film was, it's going to be Robin Williams as Riddler.
Yeah.
Like everyone just kind of assumed that was going to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that feels right, doesn't it? You're like, of course.
Yes. Like you can totally imagine that. My understanding is he wanted to do something closer to what Frank Gorshin did on the '60s show.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, and he was also in the running for Joker for Batman '89.
Yeah. So I mean, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I'll let you take the reins.
So basically, the short version of this is Warner Brothers wanted Jack Nicholson for the Joker, and he was unsure. So then they went out to Robin Williams and I think offered him a lot of money, but they never intended for him to actually be the Joker. It was more like bait to get Jack Nicholson to go, well, you're going to Robin Williams? I do want that actually after all. And Robin Williams found that out, and he was very bitter toward Warner Brothers for a long time. So he didn't want to do the Riddler thing because he was still angry at them at this time.
And can you blame him? That's some bullshit right there.
Yeah. He got jerked around quite a bit. Remember the whole Disney Aladdin thing?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he got so mad at Disney. I think didn't they buy him like a Picasso or something as an apology?
Yeah, basically. Like, well,
yeah.
I mean, that's like a whole separate commentary track. But yeah, it's he was essentially like, I'll do the movie, I'll do the voice of Genie, but don't use me to promote the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, sure thing, Robin. And then it's like, psh, everywhere you look, it's the Genie.
Yep. But I mean, how could you not? They should not have said something they weren't going to do.
Don't lie.
But how are you not going to use it?
I mean, I think the smart thing is you go back, you say, listen, this character, like he's such a great character.
Yeah, what do you want? We'll give it to you.
What can we do to make it okay? That's what you do.
Yeah.
Maybe you just lose a soul when you become a studio head. I don't know.
Right. Or you put it on the shelf, and hopefully, I hope you take it out of the coat closet when you leave.
You dust off the cobwebs when you've been fired. You take it with you.
Yeah.
All right. So
not all of them. Not all of them.
Anyway,
I have a few friends who are executives. Yeah.
So Val Kilmer as Batman / Bruce Wayne. What do you think of him?
I feel personally, I know some people are into it. He's like a little flat to me.
Yes.
I don't even know if half of his lines are ADR'd. He just feels very detached. Like, I don't buy him as an actual person. I watch this movie and I feel like Val Kilmer is sort of floating through this movie, and that's my personal thing.
Yeah,
like there's never any time I'm watching this and actually thinking about the story or what he's feeling.
Yeah, if you were to tell me that is actually not Val Kilmer, it's one of, like, it's a robot where if you pop his head open, a little Men in Black alien is inside piloting him.
Yes.
I would believe you.
But apparently he was making heat at this. That's a cool shot, by the way.
That's that. Yeah.
Alfred
Well, I remember
projected
really
it.
liking this moment as when he goes into the office and he's like chair, and then it turns into a little pod or whatever,
Yeah, and then zooms down.
and then he goes to the Batcave. However, when you actually think about it, that makes not even a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
Like you're telling me he's got just like pipes like all through Gotham or where, you know, like.
right.
Anyway, you see, yeah, he was making heat with Michael Mann.
Yeah, concurrently. And then also, apparently, Kilmer and Joel Schumacher didn't get along making this. And there was like a whole period where they weren't even talking to one another, which Joel Schumacher said was actually a blessing. So I don't know why he was being so petulant, but...
Now, Schumacher has said that he watched Tombstone, and he saw and one of Val Kilmer's all-time great performances.
Absolutely.
Doc Holliday, and he's like, he would be a great Batman.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, like,
I don't know. That would have occurred to me.
so as soon as Keaton drops out, and Warner Brothers backed up a Brinks truck to Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were willing to give him like,
I think it was like
$15, $20 million, and
Yeah.
he was like, no. Which you got to respect that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to me, it's like if you're being offered that much money and you don't want to do it, you would find a way to be like, well, let me see if I can bring my truth to this.
Right. Well, like Michael Caine famously with Jaws 4.
Yeah.
Right?
Michael Keaton was like, no, thanks, I'm good. Which you got to respect that, you know?
Yeah.
However, as soon as he drops out, Schumacher calls Val Kilmer, who was supposedly, said the story, he was at the time scouting locations for a movie called Ghost in the Darkness,
Right.
and he was in an actual bat cave
Right.
when he was told, oh, we would like you to play Batman. And so Joel Schumacher has told the story that Val Kilmer, I owe him thanks for two things. First, as soon as I asked him, he did Batman. And then when it came time to do my second one, he didn't do Batman.
Right.
So yeah, they didn't get along.
Yeah. Well, by the way, so we have Nicole Kidman playing Chase Meridian here on the roof in her underwear, basically.
Yes.
Summoning. It's going to make me laugh when it
Psychologist
reveals her in like
ever.
lingerie. Wait, what?
She's the worst psychologist ever.
Right. It's just kind of funny. She like activated the bat. So she activated the bat signal to get trick Batman into coming over. And here we have Commissioner Gordon in his pajamas, like, well, what's going on over here?
Like, does he sleep in the building?
The precinct.
The only thing missing for Commissioner Gordon is he should have had like the hat, like the night hat, you know, that.
Yes, like
cap,
the
like a-
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah, and
cap,
like a
and like a
candle.
candle.
Commissioner Gordon certainly in these two movies is objectively the worst.
Yeah, it really. I mean, from the comics, I've had a different perception of him, and then of course, I really like Nolan's portrayal of him. Right?
Yes.
More like a person. Pat Hingle, I never connected with.
No.
Or I never bought a relationship between him and Batman. I mean, they never really created one.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. I mean. With the two Burton films, there's at least like a baseline of professionalism from Gordon.
Right.
I mean, it's a low baseline, but it exists. But in these two, he's just like, he's not doing anything. He's at one point, he's like, just turn on the signal, otherwise, it was just, you know. I guess
Sorry, you trailed off there.
He's like, I guess he's not coming. Let's just go home. I guess crime is just happening, you know?
Yeah, forget the cops. Yeah. This isn't Ed Begley Jr., is it, by the way?
It is Ed Begley Jr., yeah.
Is it?
It is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is acting. I feel like Jim Carrey set the baseline, speaking of baselines, for villains. Or for like not even villains, for like side characters in this movie. Because everyone's trying to act at his level.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, look at this, right here.
This is, yeah.
And we should explain what this is. Or it's like it's just a 3D TV that he invented, right? I mean, it's like,
yeah. What is he doing? He's like taking what's in your brain and putting it into his own, and right.
You know what's funny is I've seen this movie zillions of times, and until you just asked that question, I never thought to consider what actually is happening.
Aren't there certain movies like that? And that's why, for ones particularly that I love, because usually when I rewatch them, they're just like a song I've heard a million times. So I'm just letting it sort of go through my head and not giving it much thought.
Yeah.
And when you rewatch a movie, like when we rewatched Batman 89 in the theater, there was little connective tissue that I was like, I never really thought about it. You know, like there's just things you notice more when you're forced to focus.
Yeah.
So, for instance, with this, when it started and Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face is talking to that guard and he's just got this rant about corrupt politicians, and he's like going on and on. I was like, I don't think I've ever listened to one word he was saying there. Because I'm just hearing him going, crazy, crazy, and then moving on. But like looking at the subtitles, I was like, oh, wow, he's like saying words. You know?
So Edward Nygma has invented this. The idea is that, you know what? I don't know.
But it later becomes clear that he can read people's minds, and that's why when he puts Bruce Wayne in there, it becomes dangerous because we could see. So he sees the image of the bat, and he's like,
so naturally he must be Batman, right, Brian?
right.
I mean, it's people use the brain box or whatever it is, and it makes them experience what they're seeing more viscerally, but while they're plugged in, he can, like, you know, hack into their data, basically.
Yeah.
He can steal their passwords.
Yeah. And going along with what you said earlier, Jim Carrey, peak 90s Jim Carrey, where no one was going to rein him in whether they wanted it or not. So, you know, you got him knocking people out with coffee pots and be like, coffee will kill you! You know, like, which, by the way, I mean, sometimes he goes a bit overboard and it can become grating, but for the most part, I love 90s Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And so, which we talked about with our Sonic review. Was really fun to see that mode back.
See, the one downside of 90s Jim Carrey was all the people who thought they could be 90s Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Just in everyday life.
Yeah, sort of like they're just markers through history. There's the Austin Powers people. There's the Jim Carrey people. Yeah.
So there were a lot of ass talkers from like 94 to 97.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Which is as true today as it was back then. or funny, I should say.
So here's the thing with Jim Carrey. I actually, in this movie, for the most part, I like him. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's playing this note, and that note he's very good at. The mistake is, and this is where I truly don't understand Joel Schumacher's calculation. I'm like, right here, we're looking at Tommy Lee Jones as Harvey Dent, and again, I've talked about this before. Batman is in court. Right. The guy throws acid. Batman is sitting in the stands. He's like with other audience members.
In a comedy, they would have shown a bit of the trial and then just done this totally normal cut to the audience with Batman seated with his hands in his lap, like. Yeah.
It'd be funny if Batman's kind of looking around, like, you listening to this? Like,
yeah.
But anyway, so you've got Tommy Lee Jones, and he's known for playing really intense, driven characters, right?
Right.
So you'd play that contrast.
Right.
So, okay, Jim Carrey's playing this note here. You have Tommy Lee playing that note there, and then you put those together, and that creates something interesting.
Yes. If Jim Carrey is just bouncing off the walls and, you know, poking over his shoulders like in his ear, but he is more stoic and brooding and like, yes, what you say makes sense to me. You know, you're right. You know, but it goes into this sort of, I don't know what the equivalent is. But we were talking about the terminal last week being so saccharine it gives you a toothache. Yes. Like this is just sort of like this really loud, screechy, all the villains together. It's too much. You're so right. They should have calibrated it.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago I watched the Batman Superman animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
And in that you have Mark Hamill as the Joker and Clancy Brown as Lex Luthor.
I can hear it in my head. Yeah.
Right? And why that works is because they each already had established the particular wavelength their characters occupy, and then you put those energies together and you get this new, very interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the opportunity here. That said, I think the original sin was really not in this movie, but in Batman Returns, where they're like, let's have two villains. And then that just became what you do.
Yeah. Does it bother you in Batman Returns?
Does
it feel stuffed?
I mean, only in hindsight, because it laid the pipe for the other movies.
Right.
You know, like in Batman Returns, I don't mind it because to me, Catwoman is the Bruce Wayne story and Penguin is the Batman story.
Right.
And so those two storylines intersect later, but they also start out in two different directions. Whereas with this, and then especially with the next one, it's like, name two Batman villains. Let's just put them together.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you can sort of see why maybe a Riddler Two-Face team up might work, but then in the next one it's like Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze. Okay, we're just throwing darts at this point. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then of course,
okay, so you just, yeah.
No, and then of course we also had to bring in Robin, and so I mean it's a lot, you know.
Yeah. By the way, is this the Flaming Lips playing now? I can hear it in my head, even though the sound's off. Did you have the soundtrack?
Oh, of course. Who didn't?
So this soundtrack was like a big deal. Oh, like it was like a double platinum selling album. I looked that up, and had a lot of like Method Man, Flaming Lips, PJ Harvey, Brandy, Seal, The Offspring, U2.
U2.
I mean, Nick Cave is on this soundtrack. Like this is
this was like soundtrack.
Peak. It's a great soundtrack, yeah, and it reminds me. I mean, I know they still do this. Well, actually, I don't know how much they do this anymore. But the '90s was peak. On the poster, it would say soundtrack featuring, right? Like, remember that movie Fear?
Yes.
With Mark Wahlberg. If I remember correctly, I think even the poster was like featuring Machine Head by Bush.
That's right.
You know? You're like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the Batman Forever had I had the tape in my car, you know.
Yeah, I remember having the CD actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
Weird way. It's making me kind of want to listen to it again. Pull it out.
I listen to it actually fairly often, even now.
Yeah,
there's a couple really good songs on there.
Yeah, it's not a bad U2 song.
No, it's good. Yeah,
and then the Offspring, all that's good.
There's a song called "Crossing the River" is a really good song on there, and "The Passenger" by
Michael Hutchence.
Michael Hutchence, that's right. Yeah.
Who, by the way, Joel Schumacher used to direct NXS videos apparently. So that's the connection.
There's the connection.
Yeah, that's it. That's the connection. What is that from?
Feels like something out of like Batman 66.
Yeah.
C for Catwoman.
It'll come to me later.
All right, so look at all the canted angles. We're talking about Batman 66.
Yeah.
This movie is rife with this very distinct, both tonally and stylistically intention from Joel Schumacher, where he said, "I wanted to make a live-action comic book."
Mm-hmm.
And I can appreciate that, but I think certainly with hindsight, you say, well, comic books are more than just the medium; they are the subject matter, and Batman had not been sort of garish in this way since the 60s, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Batman had become something else. So what he ended up doing, and I can't imagine this was his intent, he ended up pulling it back to this thing that Batman had grown beyond.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Which, at the time, I probably didn't feel like it's what I wanted. Like, I wanted more Burton because that's what I had just gotten 2 films of. But with hindsight now, I've said before, I've even softened on Batman and Robin because I'm like, we've moved up past it and we have better Batman movies that are more suited to the flavor I want. But if that thing just exists as this weird bonkers thing that's on TBS from time to time, it's like, well, it's amusing in its own way.
I totally agree.
Yeah. So I think I've come around a little bit on this one where it's probably one of my least favorites. However, it's totally watchable.
I agree. And I mean, there's a lot to like for sure.
Yeah. When I say least favorite, there aren't really any I hate. Like, I don't hate it. I don't even think it's necessarily bad. It's just very different and it's not the one I would go to.
Yes, I agree with that.
By the way, that's it. That's the connection. That's a really, really random line from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
See,
when Eddie figures it all out. Oh, man. What a mess, my brain.
But that's why we do a show like this, because it lets it lets you get all that stuff out there.
Yep.
You're like Russell Crowe in Beautiful Mind. It's just all the things.
Yeah.
So here's a Kilmerbot 2.1.
Kilmerbot, yeah. Yeah.
I am very distressed by dreams I have been having.
Oh, Dykstra, by the way, I looked it up.
Yes.
I was messing it up. He invented the Dykstra camera,
Yes.
which helped create all the spaceship flight in the Star Wars
In
films.
Star Wars, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
The Dystraflex or something like that.
Dystraflex. And he was one of the pioneers in digital animation.
Yes.
Which is how... And again, he did the effects for at least the first Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie.
Yes, correct.
So Nicole Kidman was...
Yes.
Now, initially, this role was, if not offered to, the intention was for it to be offered to Rene Russo. And this was when it was going to be Michael Keaton.
Okay.
And having just watched Outbreak, like 2 weeks ago, which is like 1995 Rene Russo, I'm reminded of how hot I thought Rene Russo was. Like I had such a big crush on her.
Oh, totally. I mean, that decade, like it was like Lethal Weapon, the Thomas Crown Affair. Like, that was like her decade. Which, by the way, she just crushed it recently too in Nightcrawler. If people haven't seen that.
Yeah, she was great in that. Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
So she either the role was rescinded or not offered when Keaton stepped away. Why? Because she was too old for Val Kilmer.
Yes.
Which like F you, Hollywood. You know.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
Like, she's 6 years older than him.
Like, oh my God! Like, she should play his mother then. You know, like
I know. Well, by Hollywood math, yeah. Sadly,
oh, just cast her as Martha Wayne. Like that's.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Why did I say that name?
Yeah. Oh, well, so then Nicole Kidman, she's 7.5 years younger than Val Kilmer.
Yeah. So then that's okay then.
That we can do.
Whew. It's okay,
Wait, should we
guys.
talk about?
We got it.
Should we talk about Gossip Gertie?
Gossip Gertie is Elizabeth Sanders, a.k.a. Elizabeth Kane, wife of Bob Kane.
Yep.
And now, my feelings on Bob Kane are no secret to anybody who listens to this show or knows me in real life or has just randomly encountered me on the street. Not a fan of Bob Kane. And his wife, who I'm sure is a lovely person, plays the worst character in this movie and the next one.
Yes, and apparently she's been in all of them, but she was in the background. She was a background character. But this one, they actually gave her a role as this sort of town or like newspaper gossip woman. I can't think of the real life equivalent, but I know there's a person I'm thinking of.
Well, like Helen Mirren in Trumbo, you know.
Yeah, but even in this time, there was a woman, Liz something.
Liz
I can't
Smith.
think of her name. Liz Smith. Yes.
Yes.
But anyway, they give her these sort of cat eye glasses,
and there she is,
she's
right
just over the
next to Val
top.
Kilmer there.
So Bruce Wayne, tell us all about your love life, kind of
she's
character.
Obnoxious. I mean, it's cacophonous, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't like it, but at the same time, I guess it's nice that they're like. It's kind of surprising they didn't put Bob Kane in the movie. Actually,
that's a good point.
Yeah,
but then I would hate this movie more.
That's true.
And I should, on the off chance that anybody listening doesn't know this, the reason I despise Bob Kane, the reason I consider him Batman's greatest villain, is because he stole credit for co-creating the character from Bill Finger, who did most of the work and just dined out on it. I mean, it's just he's an objectively terrible person.
Yeah, throwing absolutely nothing to Bill Finger.
Yeah.
It's a really tragic story.
It really is. And if you are curious to hear more, there's a great documentary on Hulu called Batman and Bill, which you can check out.
Yeah. So whenever you see him credited now in the subsequent Batman movies, it actually warms your heart each time. It does for me.
Very true. And every time you see Bob Kane credited solo as he was before 2016, just silently boo and hiss a little bit. You feel better,
Yeah.
So okay,
yes,
the Graysons are introduced here, and I think people were waiting for Robin to show up in these movies, so it was kind of a big deal when Robin was introduced, and initially there was a big nationwide casting search. They were looking for an unknown,
And then they landed at Chris O'Donnell, who was very much not unknown because he had already been in Scent of a Woman and Three Musketeers, etc.
Well, we should note the Marlon Wayans.
Yes.
At one point, he was in the Tim Burton iteration. That's who Tim Burton wanted, right?
That's correct.
And then Joel Schumacher wasn't interested.
Well,
so
no. He was supposed to be in Batman Returns.
Oh, right. Yes, but it was already kind of crammed. Or
yeah.
what?
So basically, they had him under contract, and they were like, "We're going to use you in the next one," and then they decided not to, and he got paid anyway, and he's talked about having that. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, I think to this day, he still gets money for the movies he didn't appear in that he was contracted to appear in.
Kind of nice.
Wonky things. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Robin action figure in the Batman Returns action figure line.
Really?
Yes. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's he's wearing like the costume from the comic book, but he's got this kind of high hairstyle, which sure looks like it was sculpted to be Marlon Wayans originally, and they just made him white.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
But so we introduce Robin here, which is great. But this is when you look at like overcomplicating things, like the comic book origin of Robin is very simple. He's a kid. He has two parents, and the parents die, and there we go. Here they're like, hey, and let's add like he's like the Waltons,
right. Circus family.
Yeah, and it's
trapeze artists.
It's weird because it doesn't add anything.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, it weakens the very primal simplicity and the parallel to Batman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Which, by the way, this was a sequence that was supposed to happen in 89, right?
It's a variation of it, but yeah.
Variation, yeah. But it's even, if you look on the Blu-ray or whatever, it's storyboarded out and everything.
Yeah, and they have Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy doing the voices.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the idea here is like, okay, we find an in-story, in this story reason to have Robin become part of it. Of course, Dick Grayson in the comic is like 11 or something when because when his parents are killed.
The boy wonder.
Robin is like, he's like, 18 going on 42.
Right. Yes.
So it doesn't make quite as much sense when Bruce Wayne's like, why don't you come live with me, son?
Yeah, or even like, I don't want you going out tonight, and he's like, oh yeah, like you're like, you're a grown man, you can go out if you want. I don't. I'm just saying,
talk
it's dangerous.
To me like that. I'm 27. Like
I know. Yeah,
but it's weird because here's my guess, right? Obviously, part of the problem is you give Batman a kid sidekick, then Batman is kind of a bad guy.
Yeah, throwing some kid in all this danger.
Yeah, not just that. Batman.
Well, yes.
Batman is like, I have to wear this dark costume so I can blend into the shadows. Here, put on this bright red, yellow, and green suit, son.
Right. We should call him Decoy. Yeah. No, Robin. Robin's better. Yeah.
Just swing right in front of me, Robin.
Right.
So there's a little of that. You get it. And yeah. I would imagine the thinking was probably like we have him slightly older, and then we have him evoke and or eventually become Nightwing, who is, the adult version of Robin that Dick Grayson became. That's my guess.
Yeah.
And certainly in Batman and Robin, even though he is Robin, he's wearing Nightwing's costume.
Right.
So maybe that was the thinking. Now Chris O'Donnell, I think, is fine as Robin. I don't mind him.
Mm-hmm.
But the age thing is very interesting because to me, that's the weirdest thing. Again, he is a grown-up.
Yes.
And like I could see Bruce Wayne being like, hey, if you ever need someone to talk to, let me know. Yeah, I've been through this. But the idea that he'd be like, come live with me. And Dick would be like, well, I have an apartment, actually.
I was just going to make that joke. I was going to be like, don't you have an apartment? Or... Yeah. We're on the exact same page. Yeah.
Now, is this the same Wayne Manor from the first two? I don't think it is, right?
That's a good question.
It's the same one in
so.
the fourth one.
Yeah. Love all the random atmosphere going on in the background. Look at all that smoke. Like, why is that there? It looks cool.
Yeah.
But it's like the smoke is just puffing out of a bush. Love he's got the Robin helmet. yeah. This is just this whole scene where Dick Grayson's coming in. It just feels kind of weird. He looks too old.
Like, I'm actually curious, how old was Chris O'Donnell in this movie?
I don't know.
Because he's okay. So he was like 24, 25 when he made this movie.
All right. Well, all right. Pretty funny.
Like, I will say this. I think that by the time we're in the next one where it's Clooney as Batman, the relationship between them is much more like they're buddies. They're like brothers.
Yes.
And
There's a rapport.
I buy that more. But this part, and by the way, actually, right around here where where Bruce is like, oh, the circus is probably halfway to Metropolis by now. I remember being like so excited.
Yeah.
To hear the word Metropolis.
It's really funny because, we're sort of used to that now. Like,
yes.
The crossover thing is just what we do. But I remember having those sorts of feelings, too, when they acknowledged another thing I knew.
Yes,
exactly. That wasn't directly connected. You're like, wow!
Right. See, now we're in the age of, like, Avengers Endgame, where just everybody and their brother shows up. And even then, you're like, we took what we got back then.
Yeah.
It's like, back then, Brian, if you were lucky enough to come across a Victoria's Secret catalog, it was like gold. Kids today will never understand how, just what a precious thing that was. And that's what it's like hearing the word Metropolis here.
Right.
It's the Victoria's Secret catalog of this movie.
Right. I love that there's like a percentage of the audience that's like, yes! And another like what?
What? Oh, jeez.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I sure could use some help with these bikes. It's like, you don't have to talk down to me, man. I'm like...
I think the whole idea that he's not like 18, 19. He's 25.
Yeah. Wow, that hamburger looks so good. Yeah, the way they're like teasing him too, Alfred, like, I guess I'll just toss this hamburger I made away.
It'd be funny if like the stuff it's so overtly kiddie. Like, we had a clown coming over to do tricks, but I guess we'll send him away. Send off, deflate the bouncy house, John.
Right. They just never revised the script when they didn't get Macaulay Culkin, whoever.
Okay, so here we're seeing Bruce looking at the picture of his parents. Mm-hmm. This being a Batman movie, we have to show his parents getting killed, because otherwise, if we don't see them, if we don't see them die, are they really dead? We don't.
Or you say the ritual sacrifice of the Wayne. You always say that.
That's right.
If we don't get the
sacrifice of the Waynes,
Yeah, we get the pearls. We got to have the pearls,
of course. So that is the Joker. Bear in mind, in this continuity,
in this universe, yeah.
So there was supposed to be a much bigger subplot here about the guilt he feels.
Sorry, real quick. Was that frame? Was that from? That's a comic.
Yeah, that's Batman
image,
Year
right?
One.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, Frank
of
Miller,
little Bruce Wayne leaning down, and there's sort of a spotlight over his.
Yeah, it's a very iconic shot.
Yeah.
And David Mazzucchelli drew it in the comic.
Yep. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, and I mean, my point is, like, this stuff right here is actually pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you were saying it was expanded. Oh, this whole diary thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, the movie does get into it, but I think there was much more of this idea that he directly... It's actually, honestly, it's very similar to Batman Begins, where Bruce, if you remember, right, he was scared, and so they leave, and then they get killed, right? Mm-hmm. And he blames himself.
Right.
This then Begins. So in this, he had like a fight with his dad or something, and his dad is like, Bruce is upset with me. He writes in his diary, so we're gonna go to the movies tonight to surprise him, or something like that, or something like that. So it's like he reads this thing and he's like, "It's my fault,"
right?
Which is like, I like that, because that's the type of childhood trauma. It doesn't make sense.
Yes,
but you would carry it with you.
But it does. Yeah, exactly.
And so I think my sense is that Warner Brothers was very gun shy because McDonald's is like, hey, come on,
right.
Happy Meals aren't going to sell themselves,
Yeah.
Murdered parents don't, sell Big Mac.
fries.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Does that even with your kids? I mean, do they sell toys tied with movies anymore? Is that even as big a thing as it was when we were kids? I don't even know.
I think action figures in general have shifted much more towards the collector market.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I get them Star Wars toys.
Right.
But
I mean, some movie would come out, and I remember wanting to go to McDonald's so I could get.
Oh, sure.
Some sort of whatever.
Well, I mean, think about it. 1995, this movie comes out, and you could go to Toys R Us, and you'd have your Batman Forever toys, but right next to them, you'd have your Congo action figures.
Yes.
And, our world is richer for that having happened.
Yeah.
Congo. Look that one up, kids. Congo.
Yeah.
I remember being
saw that,
excited for
actually.
Congo.
Yeah. I don't know how I missed that one, but.
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, I know. It seems like I would have seen it because it's from the author of Jurassic Park.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
why a lot of people watched it.
Yeah.
And then bought the
Sphere.
Congo action figures.
Never saw Sphere.
So that's another one, yeah. That's
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman, right?
What do you think of this Batmobile?
I am not a fan of this Batmobile, Brian.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I do not like this Batmobile. I do not like it in the dark.
Yes.
It's.
Yeah.
I think here's part of the problem. I think that. Well, two parts. Number one, Anton first designed the perfect Batmobile.
To me,
Right.
yes.
So anything.
I have emotional feelings about that Batmobile.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So anything removed from that. Oh, so stupid. Tommy Lee Jones.
Wait, let's say what's going on.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Let's say it. It's funny.
So he's dressed up like a bag lady crossing the street.
Two-Face.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
has a rocket launcher and he shoots it at the Batmobile.
And, well, he's like pushing a baby stroller.
Yes.
And then he like, no, and he takes off the hood and then has like a rocket launcher, and it's. You know what though?
okay.
It is what it is. That's
It
what
is-
this movie is.
That's what this is. That's
Yeah.
That should have been the tagline. That's what this movie is.
Can I throw out real quick too? By the way, something I'm a fan of, and they did this. I'm looking at it now, and they did. I remember this in '89 Batman and some other movies. I'm a big fan of strobe lights going off in the background for no reason.
Sure.
You know what I mean? There's just something kind of cool and unsettling about it. And it reminds me of that moment in Batman '89 when the guy with the swords
Yes.
is fighting Bruce. And it isn't. I always thought it was for no reason, but I think it's the Flash from Vicky Vale.
Right.
But it just looks so cool. It just adds this weird je ne sais quoi to it. I don't know.
I wonder if people had seizures watching this movie.
It's a lot.
It is,
It's a
yeah.
lot. But I'm enjoying looking at this movie. Yeah, I can see myself when this is what I was trying to say several episodes ago about Batman and Robin. When the last movie out, here we go. Let's have the Batmobile climb a wall.
Yes.
When it's the last movie out, you're like, well, this is Batman now. So it's sometimes harder to feel good about that when you're like, so this is Batman now? But when you move on and you have other Batmans and this just happens to be one of the things that exists, it's easier to be like, well, this one's kind of funky and weird, but that's all right.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
So going back to the Batmobile, I think I get changing it,
Yeah.
but to me, it's like trying to be that, but not that.
yes.
And so you end up with a lesser version. In a weird way, I prefer the one in Batman and Robin because at least it's just something different. And that one is like, all right, we're going to do like our version of the Lincoln from the 60s show.
I got to look it up. I don't even remember.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a particularly good Batmobile, but at least it's just doing its own thing. This
Oh,
is
I
like
see.
trying
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
that, but not really. Like they actually went to H.R. Giger for the designs for this. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah. Which it feels like a little bit of a leftover from that. Sort of
It
that
does. I mean,
spindly
apparently
looking.
the Batmobile he came up with was deemed like too horrifying, which I'm like, no shit, really?
Yeah, no kidding.
You asked the alien guy to come up, what would you think it was going to be?
Yeah. That's hilarious. But doesn't this feel like remnants of whatever he probably thought of as
for
this
sure.
sort of rib cage looking thing on the side?
Yes. Oh, for sure. And the bat suit, see, this is I mentioned earlier, like it's like, oh, how can Val Kilmer be Batman? What's that going to look like? And then you put him in the suit, you're like, oh, okay, looks like Batman. Like the suit, it's basically the same design as the Keaton one.
Yeah.
With the exception, well, it's more like the one from '89 than Returns, but they put the nipples on there.
Yes.
And we've talked about this before. I mean, it's at this point, it's like such an easy joke. But Joel Schumacher has said that. Oh well, I want it because it's sculpted. It's like it's like the perfect male form.
Right. It's sort of like a Greek god, or what am I trying to say? Like the art. Like you look at old sculptures, like Michelangelo. Right?
Yes.
Or Michelangelo. Michelangelo's David is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I'm like half reading subtitles and talking.
The perfect male form.
Yes. And him saying that, I'm like, I get it. I get what you thought, but you underestimated, how it actually feel. It just feels kind of silly.
That's the funny thing, right? Because if we look at the polls of how you can approach this character, you've got, on the one hand, you've got Christopher Nolan, who's like, oh, we need a scene where Bruce is talking to Lucius Fox, and he's like, give me, a Kevlar enforced, infantry suit, and then like, give me the parallel scene in this where Alfred's like, sir, I've designed the new suit, and Bruce kind of looks at it and he's like, needs more nipples.
Right? Yeah.
And Alfred kind of just like, very well, sir, and then he...
Yes, very well. Yeah.
That's what we needed. We needed nipple sculpting. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Wait, so we should talk about these two women here. Right? This is like so 66 Batman, where Two-Face has these two women that hang out with him. One, their aesthetics match either side of his face.
Yes.
Right? So you have Drew Barrymore as like the nice side, right? So she's all in white.
She is Sugar.
Sugar, right. And then Debbie Mazar?
Yeah.
Is that
she is Spice.
She is Spice, so she's all in leather and black.
Yes.
She's dangerous. Oh, and so he puts cigarettes on either side of his mouth, and the what am I trying to say? The like leather one has like a flamethrower to light his cigarette because she's the dangerous one. It's just so funny.
See, and the thing here, and now when we talked about The Dark Knight, I mentioned, like, I love Two-Face. I think he's like second only to the Joker for me. Such a great character. And part of that is obviously visually so interesting, but like on the animated series, which had been going for like 3 years by the time this movie came out, they gave us the perfect origin for Harvey Dent turning into Two-Face, right? And so it's not like this movie was the first bite at that apple. Like, we'd already gotten this great version.
Right.
Where you really highlight the duality of his nature and the idea that there is good at war with evil. Like, that's interesting, right? Mm-hmm. But here, it's like, there's no distinction between Dent and Two-Face.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, essentially, Tommy Lee Jones is trying to do Cesar Romero. The Joker,
Yeah, good, yeah.
Like this scene right here, if you have Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey, and then you have Tommy Lee Jones, like, honestly, this movie should have just been the real life version, depicted their real life relationship. Mm-hmm. Which was basically Jim Carrey being like, ooh, ooga booga, and he's like, I can't tolerate your brand of stupidity.
Yeah, which I guess we should probably retell that story, right?
Yeah, so I was going to say they hated each other, but it was one directional.
Right.
Tommy Lee Jones despised Jim Carrey.
Right.
And Joel Schumacher has said that was a reason that he really disliked Tommy Lee Jones. He found that really just a shitty thing to do, where he didn't hide his contempt for him. Mm-hmm. And you sort of say, like, I can see Tommy Lee Jones being like, I've been, it took me a long time to work up to my level here, and then this guy just blew up in the last year. Maybe there's a little bit of resentment, even though Jim Carrey had been kicking around for a long time too, right?
And also, I think we're used to Jim Carrey's brand, but he was relatively new on the scene to mass audiences, and I could see my dad probably hating him. So you got to imagine Tommy Lee Jones being like, what is this kid doing?
Yes. So supposedly, like during filming or while filming was going on, Jim Carrey went out to eat at a restaurant, and the maitre d's like, "Oh, Tommy Lee Jones is here too," and so he goes over to say hey, and Jim Carrey's talked about how he, as soon as they lock eyes, Tommy Lee Jones kind of just like he's mortified to see him,
Right. Yeah.
and he gets up to shake his hand. He kind of leans and says, "I cannot sanction your buffoonery."
Yeah, that's a quote that Jim Carrey said he actually was told by Tommy Lee Jones. Which
So
doesn't
give
that
us-
just sound so Tommy Lee Jones?
It totally does, right? Oh, wait, we got to talk about Kung Fu Laundry.
Oh, I couldn't remember if that was this one or the next one.
Really, it should be everyone. I think
Yes.
the fact that it's not in the next one is an oversight.
Yes.
So I love the calculation here. Like screen time is like money. It's
Right.
valuable. So we can have a montage where we see Dick Grayson learning how to fight.
Right,
Or we can
right.
just very quickly show him fight with his laundry.
Yes. Basically, I think it's to show he's self-sufficient, right, to Alfred. Like, I don't need no butler,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, I can do my own laundry. And he, in the process, does kung fu with his wet laundry and makes an absolute mess of the laundry room, which ends with him mopping it up. It's like,
does
why would
mop.
you even add that extra step for yourself? Like, you know?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten about how arbitrarily they weave back and forth between this storyline, which is Riddler and Two-Face just having a gay old time, and then
Right, just robbing. Actually, that's kind of funny. I like
hey,
that
that's
moment
Terry
where...
Polo, isn't that the reporter?
Oh, is it? I don't know.
From Meet the Parents.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, like maybe 5 years before that.
Yes, I think that was her. I'm pretty sure.
I like that moment between Two-Face and Riddler where Two-Face is teaching him how to punch.
Yes. Yeah.
And he hurts his hand. That's funny. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
Oh, by the
that's
way,
what this
so
is.
well, these riddles, right? Did you read about this? Apparently, these riddles they reached out to Will Shortz, who created the crossword. He's a crossword puzzle editor for the New York Times, and he crafted these riddles for the film.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
which is funny because I would feel like if you were the screenwriter, I'd be like, oh, geez, I got to figure out all these riddles that like. But knowing you can just go out to some sort of puzzle master, it's like, hey, that's nice.
Are they good riddlers? Yeah. Are they good riddles?
They're fine, right? I mean, I figure as long as I can't immediately figure it out, and then the story moves on, so I'm not thinking about it anymore, and then it actually makes sense. Yeah, that's a worthy riddle,
Yeah, that works.
right?
So real quick, I looked up Terry Polo, and I don't see Batman Forever in her list. So I'm going to assume.
Oh, it looked like her. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It totally looked like her. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But for the record.
Yes.
So everyone, you know what this reminds me of, where everyone is buying the box or whatever it is. In Terminator Genesis,
Yes. Oh, yes.
everyone wants Genesis. Like, I mean, this is like, it's funny to me because like, we're seeing this. This is literally this beam going out into. Like, I'm assuming you can see that.
I mean, we are seeing it visually manifested with this family watching television.
So one assumes that that's the thing other people in Gotham City are seeing.
But you know what? This is before the internet and Twitter. I mean, mass use of the internet, I should say. So people aren't, out there ripping the lid off of it. Right?
Such a weird plan. I don't understand this plan.
But it's funny too that maybe it's just me, but that whole family sitting in front of the TV is such like a 60s aesthetic.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Just the way that was visualized.
I love this here too, where he's like, "Are you up there? Okay, I'm gonna go clean the Batcave now." So
Yes, just checking. I'm going to go through this door I've asked you not to pay any mind to. And then, now he's like leaping off of... Oh, man, this movie. Like, just run down the stairs. Probably quicker.
now here's the funny thing. They do
Actually, that
this
did look
twice.
kinda cool.
They do this twice now. Okay, so he is an intruder in the Batcave. Boom! He comes stumbling down the stairs. He's an intruder. Intruder alert!
Yes.
Intruder alert! And what happens? Everything turns on.
Right. Instead of like emitting some sort of gas to stop your vision.
Right. The Batmobile comes up.
It presents itself. Yes. I never thought about it.
You'd have like shields or something, like everything would cover up. No, it all turns on.
Yeah, it'd be like Moe's with the Prohibition, where it turns into like a pet shop.
Yeah, exactly.
And Alfred would be like, yeah, the best damn flower store under the Wayne Manor in town.
As we're watching this, I'm realizing there are so many plot lines that they're juggling.
Yes.
Because the Chase Meridian thing is kind of happening in this movie over there. And then there's the Dick Grayson thing happening over there.
Yeah.
And it's just yeah. and then Two-Face and Riddler are teaching each other how to punch and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, what we should talk about is Billy D. Williams.
Oh yeah.
As supposedly set up to be Two-Face in Batman 89, right?
That's correct. So I've heard multiple things. I've heard that he had a pay or play contract where he would get paid even if he didn't play Two-Face.
Mm-hmm.
But he has said that's not the case.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'd seen that too. I'd read that.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure where we're at with that.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, they decided to go in a different direction, and I'm sure Williams signed up playing Harvey Dent in Batman 89, hoping that he gets to come back and play the big bad at some point.
And he would have been... Here's the thing that I don't understand. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you have
man.
it? Right?
Totally. I can totally picture it.
I mean, if for no other reason than you've already set up his version of Harvey Dent.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you lean into that familiarity and you play on that tragedy.
Yep.
Like, I think one of the smartest things the animated series did is that there were a good, 10 episodes or so before Two-Face where he's just Harvey.
Right.
And they establish him as a person. They establish his friendship with Bruce Wayne. And then, I mean, it's a cartoon show, but they got it. They figured it out.
Mm-hmm. It is, and with you saying that he's maybe your second favorite villain, it's because he's so complex. Like, it's two personalities wrestling with one another.
Yeah.
But they just don't go for that at all in this.
Yeah. They wanted to evoke what if he had been on the 60s show? I guess this is what he would have been like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but I read in researching this that he was in early drafts for Batman Returns and Max Schreck. He basically turned into Max Schreck.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and apparently, this sounds too perfect, but maybe it's possible. When Catwoman does the whole, kisses Max Schreck with the, what do you call that? The
that
taser
electric thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, that was supposed to be what turned him, like his face.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it makes sense. That. I'm not sure. I like I said,
I'd have to look into that though. I'm curious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, Chase Meridian. Chase Meridian is a terrible psychologist.
Yeah.
Now here's Bruce Wayne with his Dick Tracy two-way TV watch.
Is that funny? And now that kind of exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seemed like crazy at the time, but.
Okay, so here's the thing. Last time we saw Dick Grayson, he has discovered the Batcave. And then cut to now, Alfred's like, he took the car. So I'm like, did he, knock you out and take it?
Right.
Did he force you to give him the keys? Like, how does that happen?
Well, and you also remember in Batman 89 where he's like, shields, stop.
Yes.
He can remote control the car. So you think now Wayne would be like, party's over.
Yeah, right. Like
these villains too.
Like,
they look like the Warriors.
Is Alfred like, all right, well, you found the Batcave. I got to finish cleaning the house. So we'll talk about this later. Like, how do we reach a point where he's able to just get away with the Batmobile?
Yeah. he's like catcalling women here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is In Vogue, by the way. Playing these
really?
Streetwalkers. Yeah, I read that. I was like, what?
That's the weirdest trivia I've ever heard about this movie.
Yeah. In Vogue.
Well, and the guy that I think that guy right there, the guy that he fights,
yeah,
is Don the Dragon Wilson.
Who's that? I'm sorry.
I mean, that's a normal reaction.
No disrespect. I just don't know.
He was like an action. He would do straight to video action movies in the 80s and 90s. Like the guy with the skull face.
Okay. Was he? I read somewhere that some guy, one of these gang leaders, was up for Robin, didn't get it, and then they put him here.
Oh, I didn't know that. I believe it. But that guy right there, that's Don the Dragon Wilson.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, all this blacklight stuff is kooky, but it does look kind of cool.
It creates a very specific aesthetic that's completely different from anything Tim Burton was even attempting.
Yeah. Oh, before we close the whole thing on Billy D. Williams. But he did eventually get to play Two-Face in.
Oh,
Lego
that's
movie.
right. I forgot about that.
Lego Batman movie, I should say.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
If anything, what you do is you have Billy D. Williams as Harvey Dent, and then you have Tommy Lee Jones as the scarred side.
Wait, how do you do that? Oh, in the Lego thing.
Well, no, I would have said like in this. I mean, Tommy Lee Jones' normal face looks like a Two-Face face.
Right.
That's mean. I'm sorry, Tommy. Please sanction my buffoonery, Tommy.
How in the world did they ever get Tommy Lee Jones to do this? Really? I mean, like, he had just won an Oscar.
Well,
right?
Wait,
he was
no.
Norma
I'll tell you
Ray
how.
or something.
He worked with Joel Schumacher,
Right, in The Client.
the client.
Yeah.
So they had a relationship.
It just feels so like something he wouldn't want to do. You know, run around and act. Yeah, we're watching him. He goes for it, giving him credit. But it just feels so out of character for... You remember, it might have been the year for No Country for Old Men, where he's at some award show. It became like a meme, where he was just so over it, and people were
Annoyed
joking.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. It's just, I'm having a hard time picturing him. But he goes for it, to his credit.
I mean, he has done multiple comic book movies.
Yeah, that's true, huh? Batman sailing down from things just looks awesome.
Oh, it always does. And I like Dick Grayson's reaction.
Sorry, yeah. Yes, sorry. Yeah, this is like kind of dramatic. Him finally grieving over his family.
Like the idea that he blames Batman. I think that's interesting. There's some really... Like, that's the weird thing, right? Because this movie, it's like bipolar, you know?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, like, it wants to go down these really interesting, serious, emotional corridors, but that's constantly buffeted by really kind of the overt goofiness of the villains.
Yeah, and that's why, like I was saying, I mean, yeah, you're right. That moment with Dick Grayson's kind of potent, but I don't track with Wayne's feelings. I don't believe he's a human being in this movie. You know what I mean?
He's Kilmertron 2000.
Yeah, you know, like I don't know what he's going through or what he's... The only moment I remember sort of laughing is, or feeling something is when Chase says she's in love with someone else and he kind of turns around as Batman and smiles.
Yes.
That's like the only emotion he shows in this movie.
But you know, the weird thing is that, like, we've seen Val Kilmer's work before and after this movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, he's a great actor.
Yes. So what happened, right?
Don't know. I mean, we've seen him in The Saint. Brian, tease Zachy up.
We needed Bruce Wayne doing some of that in this.
Yeah.
That's what's missing is Bruce Wayne putting on his disguise and people being like, "Are you Bruce Wayne in a bald cap?"
Right. Oh man.
No, but I mean, I feel like he took the gig because when you're offered Batman, you take the gig.
Absolutely. Well, he said, or I read that he accepted it without ever seeing a script.
Yeah, so I would imagine that based on his filmography, he was probably expecting something at least in the neighborhood of the first two movies.
Yeah, well, it makes sense, yeah.
And he gets the script, which is by Akiva Goldsman, worth mentioning.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I feel like he gets a lot of the blame between this one and the next one for sort of the clownishness.
Right.
But again, based on what I know about the original conception of the story, I feel like that some of that blame may be misapportioned.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
You know?
Yeah. Isn't this interesting? I know Drew Barrymore had some ups and downs, but like she plays basically a character who doesn't even speak.
Yeah, and my understanding is she just kind of did it as a lark. I mean, she was a big enough actor.
Yeah.
Where I'm wondering if she had a relationship with Joel Schumacher from something else too.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
Right. That would make sense.
Yeah. Also want to point out Robin's very 90s sideburns.
Oh my gosh.
Remember when that was like a big thing?
When I first met Sean, he had those kind of sideburns.
Yeah, I think I did too. Well, not when we met, but I mean that was just the thing, right?
Yeah.
I think it kind of kicked off with 90210.
Well, and I remember what a big deal it was for Robin to have an earring.
Yeah, it was just starting to stand out to me a little bit.
Now, this is to me, the idea that Edward Nygma is trying to be Bruce Wayne.
Right.
It's weird because it's laced throughout, but it's subtle enough that they don't call attention to it.
Right.
And let's talk about this because it feels to me like there's meant to be something homoerotic about Edward's obsession with Bruce Wayne.
Oh, funny. I've never even given it enough thought to even like have any thoughts basically about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it that makes sense to me.
Yeah. No, I can totally see it when you point it out. Like you said, the movie doesn't have much interest in it, but yeah, when you point it out, I could definitely see where they could have pushed it. We get more of Gertie.
Gossip Gertie. Yeah.
Edward Nygma.
Yeah,
tell us
do you remember
everything.
in Batman and Robin, she's like, "We have Batman and Robin to protect us from climate change," or whatever she says.
Right.
See, like right there, he puts the glasses on. Like, I mean, he's deliberately trying to look like him, right?
Oh, I'll put it out there so I sound like a complete moron. I don't even think I ever put that together.
See, like he takes them off right when he takes them off. See
how? All right, I'll put it out there. I'm an idiot. I never ever picked up on this. I kind of like it. It's funny.
It is funny. He's got the hairstyle the exact same way. I mean,
It's funny. I mean, really, it's on me, but I don't think I've ever thought much as I've been watching this movie. There's just so much. Like I'm looking right now at the tray of food in the background that has neon lighting around the rim. There's just so much to look at.
Yes.
I've just never put much thought into this movie.
Jim Carrey's just in a whole other movie.
Yeah. You know, I was also thinking too, with Tommy Lee Jones obviously probably growling and grimacing off screen at everything he's doing. I'm sure he's getting paid a ton of money, so I mean, it is what it is. But I kind of admire Jim Carrey for not letting that affect him, because I can imagine some people would let those things like, well, okay, yeah, I'll dial it back a little bit. Just human nature, you can't help but when you know someone doesn't like you tailor things a bit. But he didn't care.
Yes.
He's going for it, and that's what he's there to do.
I mean, I wonder if for Jim Carrey, this is still as his star is rising. So for him, this was probably the biggest movie he'd ever done up to that moment.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so
what was his first $20 million? That was Cable Guy, which was after this, right?
Cable Guy was like 97, I want to say.
Yeah, something like that, right? And this was 95, yeah. So.
Yeah.
So here we get, why would Bruce Wayne ever open himself up to this? the thought of having someone read your mind when he's got the secrets that he has.
That's right.
I do love this. Is kind of cool. All these Tommy guns with the neon lights, and it's fun.
Yeah, I remember I had the PC video game of this movie.
Really? What was that like?
It was a side scroller, and the characters were like Mortal Kombat, where it was like people who were digitized.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can picture it, sure.
And I remember being very excited about that because I was used to like the NES Batman game, Batman 89 game,
Yeah. But by the way, as we're seeing Spice again, Debbie Mazar, she was in Entourage and all sorts of things, but she was Madonna's makeup artist.
Really?
I think that was what she was most known for at this point, and she had acted I think Martin Scorsese put her in something, and then that kind of kicked off her acting career.
No kidding. Well, she's in Heat. Or sorry, not Heat, excuse me, The Insider.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like Al Pacino's assistant.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, well, Drew Barrymore, like, it's funny because now Drew Barrymore, it's like, I love flowers and we should all hug, and she's like that. But back then, that's my Drew Barrymore impression.
I like it. Yeah.
But back then, if you remember, she was like a wild child.
Yeah, she had, yeah. 'Cause, I mean, she was what, child actress, right? You know, in
Yeah.
the 80s. And then in the 90s, yeah, she was like flashing David Letterman on late.
That's what she was like most known for.
Yeah.
She played Amy Fisher in one of like the 18 Amy Fisher movies.
Amy Fisher. Wow. Yeah.
There's a look it up, kids.
Yeah. Well, that podcast is coming, isn't it?
Oh, you know
we
it.
have these like Bill Clinton podcasts. And, you know what I mean? Like, I can't believe it hasn't happened yet.
You could not escape that.
Yeah.
See, this right, like just the amount of action they actually have Batman doing, as opposed to, I mean, for as much as I like Keaton in the role, it was mostly like him standing and people approaching him and him sort of like
Dramatically turning.
yeah, basically, right?
Yeah. Because he couldn't, turn around.
Like one of the mission statements coming into this movie, and I think Schumacher said as much, was we want Batman to be able to turn his head.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's like, well, he does do that.
It's funny because as a kid, I didn't think about it. But now when I watch it, you realize his limited mobility.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
It's kind of fun. This is not bad.
You know what's funny though? I did not watch this in the theater.
Oh, okay.
However, I did watch Batman and Robin in the theater, and I remember being just buffeted by the volume and everything, the waveform as you were describing earlier.
Yeah.
So I can easily
overcompressed
see,
sound
like, by the
design.
time, like, what are we? We're like an hour 20 into this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot,
Look at those windows, by the way. Look at just whatever texture they decided to throw on those windows Batman standing by. There's just so much detail in this.
Yeah.
I mean, I admire it. And this, too. This looks so cool when he's flying down.
So there's some of Dykstra's CGI you can do.
Yeah. But some of it, I read also, just because of the limited availability of CGI, a lot of it was, we built a long tube and we had to figure out a camera, and like they had to figure out how to throw a man down this thing and twirl it, and it's a lot of extra effort that goes into it. Is this where they do the flamethrower on him or whatever? Yeah.
Yep.
This was another moment, I can't believe I remember this, but even as a kid in the theater, I just felt like, I need like a break. Like, this is just a lot. Like, we just went through this whole action sequence, and now it's like, let's blow him up with gas, and like, it just doesn't stop.
Well, and I mean, he should be dead.
Yeah, well, no, he's got the Batcave.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case. God.
But I mean, a lot is happening, of course, but I just remember the sound design, which I can't even hear now, but I can hear the music in my head. The da 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 da.
I think, the Elliot Goldenthal music, he's certainly... See, it's kind of like the Batmobile in this, where it's like he's trying to evoke that, but be a little different,
Mm-hmm.
And I think the problem... And obviously, this is like my own bias, because I just think Danny Elfman's Batman theme is just the Batman theme.
I put up with, honestly, with the all-time scores. I would
Yeah.
put it up there. Yeah.
Well, and the thing with just that theme is that it allows for different orchestration, and you can get your bombastic thing here, you can get your more introspective thing here, and I just feel like the Goldenthal Batman theme, there's something very hollow about it, because I mean, it sounds like Batman music, I guess. But,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I think it's a good theme, but it's pummeling.
Yes.
And I think I realized that's the word that was coming to my mind as I was hearing the music in my head and watching what was happening, where it was just relentless, all that Batman's going through. It didn't let up for maybe a little too long, and then all of a sudden he's being bombarded with flames, and then he's like in like quicksand or something, but then the music's just pounding, and Tommy Lee Jones is laughing really loud. Like, it's just pummeling. So it's just, if you just sort of give a little more peaks and valleys to all this, I think... this is my take. I don't know. Some people might not even care, but I feel like Burton did a good job of balancing all that stuff, where we do have more of the quieter moments to make the bigger moments even more impactful. And
yeah.
But I do again.
Well, real quick, Brian. Let's pause and look at Val Kilmer shirtless, and not to mock him, but like that's what superhero physiques used to look like.
Yeah, he looks like a normal guy.
Yeah,
I mean he looks fit, but yeah, he's not like ripped.
Like
that's a good point, Zachy. Now, yeah, they put people, and the actors themselves admit that it's like an impossible lifestyle. I mean, they can only do it for the films, but they do. They're insanely cut, right?
They have Ben Affleck like bench pressing Buicks just to show what he can do, you know?
Yes, that's a good point. That's funny. She wants Batman, not Bruce Wayne.
See, this right here, the conflict that they give him, that always rings hollow to me because I don't think that's a conflict that Bruce Wayne has.
Right.
That sense of like that's something Superman deals with. Oh, does she love Superman or Clark? Right?
Yeah.
I think, there's a great in Batman Mask of the Phantasm, which is the animated movie, which came out before this. Between Returns and this, that came out. Nobody watched it, and I would say that's like a better Batman movie than this, right?
Right.
But it's before he has fully become Batman. Mm-hmm. And he falls in love.
Yes.
And he goes to his parents' grave, and he's like, I know I made this promise, but things have changed. Can you let me be happy? Like, am I breaking my promise to you if I choose to be happy? I didn't expect this, Mm-hmm. And it's so poignant,
Yeah, that is such a good movie for people who haven't seen it.
Oh, it's fantastic.
So good. I don't go too into the animated films, and not for any particular reason. I just don't. Like, I'm just not kind of versed in those.
Oh, you're just snooty. I get it.
No, I don't know. But you did a podcast on it not so long ago, right? You did a commentary,
right. on the
which was great.
Theater
and I listened to it not having rewatched it. And so then it made me want to go back and revisit it. It had been years and years. And rewatching it, I was like, man, this is even better than I remember it. It's so good. The story is just the script. It's a great movie.
It is. Yeah, that's on the Nostalgia Theater show. I talked to John Trumbull, who is an expert on the DC animated universe, and we had a great conversation. So if you're interested, check that out in the Nostalgia Theater archives.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
this is the most acting we get out of Batman in the whole movie. Geez, I guess. Where she's telling Batman, "I'm sorry, I can't be with you. I'm in love with someone else." He realizes it's him as Bruce Wayne.
Right here we go.
Here we get this smile. Oh, wait, that's a meme. I totally forgot.
It is.
Yeah, that picture of Batman smiling.
But that smile, that feels like stage direction and not like existing. It's turn around, pause here, smile, and walk.
No. Right. Yeah. It's kind of interesting they got rid of Riddler's eyebrows.
Oh, you know what's funny? Why did they do that?
I don't know. They just kind of, I mean, it's like with Jack Nicholson. They actually, without speaking about it, they talk about his skin and they have him color his skin like flesh color, so you have to hide the white, or whatever. But it's funny because he was just Bruce. Well, Edward Nygma trying to be Bruce Wayne, but then when he's in this lair with Two-Face, he's got this sort of no eyebrows, and he's got this pink spiky hair and. I mean, this isn't the type of movie that's worried about telling you what's going on, but...
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And that onesie does not leave anything to the imagination.
No.
I applaud Jim Carrey for being like, okay, I guess I'm wearing that.
Yeah.
Now, so right here, he's like, well, she loves Bruce Wayne, so shut it down, fellas.
Yeah. I'm in love! He's like Ron Burgundy.
Like the reason Batman exists is still in effect.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, he's like, just one by one, he's just shutting everything down.
Yeah. Oh, I was reading, by the way, too. So, they shot a lot of this on the Warner Brothers stages, but the Batcave was so big, they went to the Howard Hughes Spruce Goose facility.
Really?
Yeah, because it was the only area they could get those. Yeah, to build the Batcave. And the production designer was Barbara Ling, who just won an Oscar for production design on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Well, and she knows her stuff, no doubt.
Yep.
So Robin's like, but you have to train me. He's like, nope, I'm in love.
No, didn't you hear? I'm in love.
Turn off the lights on your way out.
Yeah. Turn off the lights on your way out.
It'd be funny if as he walks away, he kind of skips like Leslie Nielsen in the Naked Gun.
Something tells me I'm into.
You see the little subtitle at the
Yes. Yeah. Oh man. I got a random nuts and bolts filmmaking fact I thought was kind of cool.
Let's hear it.
Wait, by the way, those aren't no, those are different. I was gonna say those cows that we're looking at. Is that one of those the 89? But it's not, because the bat was different.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right, had those 2 extra spikes at the bottom. So now when you color correct a film, obviously we do it all on the computers, and you can be like, let's change the color of this person's eyes. Let's make the sun do this. Let's make the leaves greener on this tree, and you can touch each leaf and change it however you wish, right?
Yeah.
But back in the day, that was a chemical process, and you would, using chemicals, like dip film in there and try to make a sunset oranger. That's why a lot of those Bruckheimer movies from the 80s, like Top Gun, why everything looks so excessively orange at sunset in Los Angeles, because it was a chemical process and it was a little blunter, right?
I see. Okay.
So anyway, the 25 minutes of this movie were digitally color corrected. So it was a very, very early attempt at digitally color correcting a movie. And it's funny because you're like, I can kind of see that. Yeah, like this movie pops in a certain way. But it's funny that the whole movie isn't even done that way. Only 25 minutes of it.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're seeing there, where he has those flashes, there was a much bigger element there where, as the movie progresses, there's a publicity still, which you may have seen, where it's him, it's Bruce like facing off with this giant bat.
Man, I don't remember that.
I'll see if I can find that picture. You can Google it. But the idea was, this movie is essentially the journey of Batman, of Bruce embracing why he is Batman. And we see later on in the film where he says that to Riddler, right? He's like, Bruce Wayne is Batman now more than ever. We're the same, or something to that effect.
Right.
And that was meant to be sort of the culmination of this movie long, dialectic that's going on in his own mind.
Right.
And for whatever reason, they chopped that. And I think it's unfortunate, because I think it would have only made the emotional stuff more effective.
Yeah, I mean, the movie is like 2 hours and 1 minute, which probably at that time seemed long. Now people are like, hold my beer, but
right.
But yeah, I mean, we could do without the laundry stuff. And
I was about to say, I think we would have been just fine without Kung Fu Laundry, and we could have,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, in fact, I believe there's a deleted scene that you can actually check out, that actually has Bruce confronting the giant bat.
That kid looks familiar, by the way. Was he like on...
He does look familiar.
Sitcoms, like on Full House, like playing like the kid that was mean to DJ or something?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can find out. He does kind of look... He looks like 90s sitcom kid.
Yeah, he does.
What's funny is, I mean, what we're seeing here is echoed not only in Nolan, but also in Batman vs. Superman. We see something very similar in the beginning of Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah, I forgot. I haven't watched that.
He's running away from the funeral, and he falls into the thing. And in that film, it's it's metaphorical, where the bats lift him out. Here, he sees the bat. So very similar, Mm-hmm. We really do need to release the Schumacher cut, Brian.
Yeah, I know.
We need to get that going now.
It's interesting, this bat too. Like, you imagine this would probably be a CGI bat now.
Yes, right.
This looks like a puppet.
So it says here, this young actor's name is Ramsey Ellis, and he has 4 credits.
Oh, okay.
So the Batman Forever is number 3 of 4, and then he was on an episode of Murphy Brown, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
And good for him.
Yeah.
He got out while the getting was good.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. They never play Kiss from a Rose in the movie, right? I can't remember.
No, it's in the end credits.
As I'm watching Bruce Wayne and Chase Meridian kiss. It would have been the time, Schumacher.
Bruce Wayne has derp face through like a good 60% of this movie.
Yeah.
His mouth is hanging open constantly, and it's incredibly distracting.
So this is what when we were talking about doing this movie, this was the scene I remembered. I was like, isn't that the one where the villains like trick or treat at Bruce Wayne's house?
Twick or tweet.
Yes. Tommy Lee Jones.
I'm an Oscar-winning actor. This is intolerable.
Now give me the damn candy bag and yell action. Twick or tweet.
Now, what's worth pointing out here, we see Two-Face's origin thanks to that convenient video camera footage. Now, I'm not an expert on the effects of acid on skin, but I feel fairly certain that no acid would turn your face into whatever Two-Face's looks like here.
Tie-dyed.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Bigger fish to fry.
This is like Brian. You're like, that's you through like the majority of this commentary.
Yeah. Well, here we go. We got your intruder alert again.
Again.
Like, intruder alert. Reveal everything. Reveal everything. All the systems boot up.
What's the point of shutting it all down? We saw him go through and like one by one he shut. Just put a padlock on it or something.
You know what's fascinating? That's kind of cool stunt. Wow, that was actually
I just
a great
noticed
stunt.
that. Yeah.
He runs and jumps across the table, slides across the table, and then when he hits the end, it raises the table to hit a guy in the face.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Shoot, I lost my train of thought now.
Oh no.
That's all right.
That looked like the same table from the first one, didn't it? When him and Vicky are eating.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that like long table.
Yeah.
It's like Jim Carrey. Like
this is just like they set the
action.
Camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, all right, just do your thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So real quick. So what we have here is Two-Face. They don't get Two-Face clearly because what's happening is he's flipping the coin to give him permission to shoot Bruce. But Two-Face, he flips the coin, and if it says no, or whatever choice it is, if the Scars side comes up, then
that's what he has to follow.
That's it. He doesn't keep flipping until he gets what he wants. Now we see him flip it about 10 times, and then when it finally comes up scarred, he's like, "Our kind of day." I'm like, "Well, no, because you kept flipping it."
Right.
Like you would say that if it were the first time. It's not your kind of day. It's not your kind of day, Brian.
No. Oh, something I was thinking earlier was when Riddler enters the Batcave and he has his cane.
Joygasm.
Wow.
Let's just applaud that this movie introduced that word into the vernacular. We would all be poor without it. Anyway, sorry, you were saying.
No. Well, there's a moment where he throws his cane into the ground and it does this insert shot of the cane going into the concrete and staying in place. Yes. And I can't help but think someone thought that had to happen. Then they thought, okay, well, then we have to build a floor that looks like concrete that this cane can actually enter and hold into place. Then they painted it. Then some unit went off and shot it. Like, I don't know. I just don't know that I would have ever thought that was that important. So I'm like, okay, I admire it. Commitment to vision.
Well, and speaking of commitment to vision, Riddler is clearly playing the long game here.
Mm-hmm.
Because every one of these riddles is part of a larger riddle. It's a Voltron of riddles.
Has there ever been a Batman story where he's like, "Damn it, Alfred, I just can't figure this one out. This is too complicated." Wouldn't that be hilarious? And then Riddler's like, "Oh, he didn't show. I thought he would know I was at the old haunted, museum."
That'd be funny. They're all waiting.
Yeah.
For Batman, like all the thugs.
Yeah, and he had to hire extra thugs. Just because he thought it was like a bigger building to cover more ground, and I guess maybe this one was too difficult.
That's like because he wants Batman to solve the riddle.
Yes, well, of course, right? Yeah.
It can't be too obvious.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Like that's what Matt Reeves is going to be dealing with in this new movie.
Yeah. The cave has been destroyed. This is the all is lost moment.
Yeah.
Chase Meridian's kidnapped. Batcave's destroyed. I love how sexy she looks, all like chained up. This is so like, yeah, we're having fun.
So Nicole Kidman has acted with 3 Batmen because she's in My Life with Michael Keaton.
Right.
She's in this, and then she's in The Peacemaker with George Clooney.
Ah. Jim Carrey. It's kind of fun watching it with the sound off.
With the sound off, yeah. You can hear it. Batman? Yeah. Batman, you say? See this, where Commissioner Gordon's like, where's that coming from? I'm like, I don't know. Look at the string of green going to the island.
Right.
I don't want to tell you how to do your job there, Jim, but...
You'll find us all on a tennis court. Yeah, right? I don't know. These are pretty good riddles.
We're like, but could we solve it?
Yeah. See, I always feel like when I see these riddles, I can never figure these out.
See, well, the way it all connects, right? Because he's like, well, this number, and then it's this, and then it's like Mr. Enigma. Like,
right.
What? Wait, what?
Right.
He makes a couple leaps that I think are not warranted by... It does remind me of C. They're out to sea. C for Catwoman.
Right.
There's something fishy about this penguin.
Right.
I do. We've talked about this before, but Michael Gough is such a good Alfred.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so different. Like, you know what I mean? At this point, we've had like 3 movie Alfreds.
Right.
And they're all so different.
Yeah. Just also like in their ability to participate, like to what degree?
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
And I don't ever picture this Alfred as some mercenary, right? Like Michael Caine was at some point.
Yeah.
So, but I enjoy that. I enjoy that they're different.
And in the new one, it's him, right? Andy Serkis.
Oh, is there? Oh, okay.
So that'll be
butt.
different.
I mean, we got to call that out, right?
Yes.
Bat butt. We get like the suit up scene where it's just like the glove, the belt, the ass.
Okay, so I am a huge fan of Batman and Robin. I don't mean the movie, but like the concept of Batman and Robin as a team.
Sure.
So I remember this scene specifically, seeing it for the first time and just loving it. I loved it then. I love it still.
Cool. Yeah.
When they shake hands, I'm like, they're a team now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like Robin in some ways is a polarizing part of the canon.
Mm-hmm.
Like people say Batman shouldn't have a partner or whatever. I don't know. For me, Batman is made better when he has a Robin.
Yeah, I because I'm used to the 66 series. That's where I was introduced to it. So I'm not opposed to Robin, but I do appreciate how tricky it is to portray that in a movie and not have it be crazy.
Right. Yeah, and so you can appreciate, with that in mind, what the filmmakers were trying to do here. It was this very delicate tightrope of like, he needs to be old enough that it's not child endangerment, but he needs to be young enough that you believe a father-son relationship. And I think they nailed part 1, but they whiffed it with part 2. As far as that, like, the reason for them to be a team. I like the idea that, well, you need help, I'm going to help you. But the idea that Bruce Wayne would be like, come live with me, son, that I don't buy that.
Right.
So this right here, they're about to just shut it down, and I'm guessing just go to bed.
Right. It's like, I mean, are you worried about electricity? Like, leave it on until he sees it.
Yeah. He's like, go. And he shakes the guy's hand. He's like, all right, well, I guess we can go to bed now.
Which is funny because, yes, when you dig into it, it's kind of silly. But, like, watching it, it does feel like a go, yay moment, right? You know, when then he's like, oh, I guess it isn't going to happen. And then he pierces through the clouds in the Batwing. It's pretty cool. So here we go. This is the villains play Battleship.
Oh, boy.
But that's what it is. That's what this movie is.
That's what this movie is. I love how I picture you saying that repeatedly with like tears streaming down your face.
Oh, that wasn't what happened when this first came out. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at now. Yeah. Because at the time, I wanted another Burton movie.
Yes. We should talk about the merchandising bonanza that occurred. I mean, for all four of these movies. Because it feels different somehow. Like in the post Christopher Nolan era, I don't think we've had something similar with any of these modern movies that there was with the 80s and 90s. Am I wrong?
No.
Right?
No, I totally agree.
Because, I remember summer of 95. I mean, you could not escape Batman Forever merch.
Yeah. I mean, going back even further, I mean, I wanted all of the Batman stuff. I wanted the Batmobile. I wanted I wanted all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think, I mean, with you having kids about the proper age, do you think phones and those sorts of things have gobbled up that real estate in a kid's playtime?
Oh, absolutely. Or at least just gaming in general. Mm-hmm. I think so. I mean, certainly stuff like action figures and stuff, it's just not, my sense anyways, it's not what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yes, no, I absolutely remember overtaking of toy stores with all this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there was the toys, and I mean, it was one of those things where it was sort of just something you came to expect. Every couple of years, there's going to be a big Batman push. Mm-hmm. To some extent, it's like we get that these days with like Star Wars movies, and maybe with like Avengers stuff, but even then, not as much. Mm-hmm. But it was
that's a good point. Yeah, Avengers, it feels like should certainly, well, Star Wars of course too, but it just feels like those would be the things. Yeah, but you just don't. I don't know.
Back in the 90s, that was both 80s and 90s, but certainly you and I, our experiences with the 90s more. It was, you would have multiple merchandising campaigns every summer for multiple movies. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I don't get the sense that happens anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
we got to call it this moment too, by the way, right? The Holy Rusted Metal.
Holy Rusted Metal Batman.
Yeah, which of course is what Burt Ward in the 60s used to say as Robin. It was always holy this, holy that, whatever was going on.
It's like, it's full of holes, holy.
And you have Batman like, wait, what? In this moment.
See, I thought it'd be funny.
I remember laughing at that.
I thought it was amusing. I think it would have been funny if they had one moment and they didn't, hang a lampshade on it, but if he was just like, holy shit.
right.
Like, that'd be funny,
That would be very funny, yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
Like the whole lasers, sort of question marks. You can either think, where did he get those? Right? Or just go with it.
Well, I mean, you talk about a blue beam.
I'm sorry. This is pretty good. With him, this is for my mother. This is for my father. Robin pounding.
This is for my third cousin, twice removed. This is, it's a big family.
Yeah, but this feels like, for as much as this movie doesn't have much palpable emotion, like this feels. Yeah.
No, I agree. No, but you talk about the blue beam shooting into the sky. I mean, this is the green beam shooting into the sky.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Right. And when I think it gives you a sense of how the scale in these films sort of increased exponentially, because the third act of Batman 89 is positively, I mean, that's like My Dinner with Andre compared to this, right?
Yeah.
The second one, it's a little more sort of, there's a little bit more of a Gotterdammering happening. Uh-huh. And then here it's just like, man, there's like neon beams everywhere. And
Yeah. Like it's almost like a rock concert or a stage show version of a movie, right?
Well, I mean,
Where-
you watched Batman on Ice or whatever it was, right?
yes, yeah, right. Well, yes, yeah.
It wasn't
Live,
Batman on
whatever.
Ice. It was something like that, though, right?
Yeah, it was Batman Live. Yeah,
Batman Live. I mean, wasn't that kind of like this?
yeah, yeah. I mean, because it's like when you're live, yeah, you have to create atmosphere, so you forget you're seated in a basketball stadium kind of a thing. So it just feels like of that aesthetic. But when you go all in on it, it's like, well, they did it.
Yeah.
Rather
Yeah,
than
and-
you
and-
going, huh?
And by the way, really, Batman and Robin is Batman on Ice. I just
Yeah, oh, literally at one moment, yeah,
that literally is, yeah.
yeah.
Now this suit is the first time in any of these movies we get like the specialized suit. For
How so?
Batman.
Oh, we got it. This is like the line, right? Riddle
Oh
me
yeah,
this,
Riddle. Yeah,
riddle
who's
me that.
afraid of look at that suit that he's wearing.
Yeah.
That Riddler's wearing. It's like Elton John,
It totally is.
right?
Yeah.
No, but the Sonar Batman suit. When you think
Oh, yeah.
right? Because every movie, here's the thing, right? Because we know the marching orders were make it more kid friendly, right? And what did you have on the toy aisles? Whenever a new Batman movie came out, it was like, well, there's the one that he wears in the movie, and then we're gonna have like 50 like Arctic suit Batman and this suit, right? Even though none of them are in the movie. So what this one did is said, hey, well, let's like throw that into the movie too,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
Yeah. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. That was one of my pet peeves as a kid. I actually didn't buy into that stuff.
Yeah, I hated it.
When they would give Batman a suit that he didn't wear in the movie. I was like, no.
Yeah,
It's not.
give me
yeah, I
the
don't
thing
want
that looks like that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that because Kenner in like 90 they came out with the Dark Knight collection. It was tied in with the 89 movie. And you had like the movie looking Batman, right? Mm-hmm. Of course you could never find him.
Right.
That one was always sold out. So you got like a Tech Shield Batman and
Yes.
and,
Something he never had. Or like
yeah.
a purple suit or something. You're like, what?
Yeah, and you're like and I remember getting that as a gift. And you're like, well,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want that one.
It was like Marge buying the golf video game for for Bart.
That was me with Tech Shield Batman. See, look at Derp Face Batman. That should have been an
I don't know if I ever noticed that.
It's a lot of derp. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Was it? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, but this is so 60s. This is like the same bat time, same bat channel have
right,
the love
exactly.
of your life in this tube, and you got the Boy Wonder in that tube. Which one's it gonna be?
Tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah.
See, dreams of one day being bare naked with the girl. It's like he's like 37.
right. Yeah. That's got to be Jim Carrey just like riffing, right?
Probably. It would make sense, again, if they were casting younger and playing the character younger. But, I mean, how old is Dick Grayson supposed to be? You cannot convince me that Dick Grayson,
It's like 19 or something.
I mean, and he looks too old to be 19.
Yeah, no, he looks like 28.
Yeah. Like I said, 24 going on 42.
Right.
See, the other problem with Chase Meridian as a character, and maybe this is just because we're at a time now where I think we just come to expect a little bit more character development in the love interests. But, I mean, she really is just a blank slate.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, there's one thing we know about her. She's horny for Batman.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. I got to say, though, when it comes to as corny as this moment is right here, I do enjoy things like this where I'm like, well, how's he going to get him out of this one? Like if you have to pick one, like obviously there's going to be some way, and I hope they subvert my expectations and show me an exciting rescue. Like even I know what happens, of course, but I just, this is fun.
Did they subvert your expectations?
Well, no, because then it's like he defies the laws of physics to, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it is a moment though, building up to it. You're like, well, how is he going to do it?
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Yeah, because both of them drop, and then okay. See, I'm remembering this. Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah. So then he's He's able to stop one, but then he has to fly and catch up to the other.
You know what I'm remembering? Okay, well, first of all, what the hell? What?
Yeah, let's talk about this.
So he's being the little brain thing explodes, and so now he's absorbing everything. Here's my question. Okay, so he's absorbing people's brain waves.
Yeah.
How is that making? Because that's a lot of nonsense that you're taking in from people. Like, how is that improving you?
I don't know. It'd be funny if he was like really good at random trivia now.
Right.
You know, or he remembers some random woman's grandmother's birthday, like all the things that don't matter to him.
See, what would make sense is if he's using the brain box strategically. So he's sending it to like presidents or scientists or something, and he's stealing the things they know or the knowledge that they have. That makes sense, right?
And he's like, Area 51? No kidding. You know, like, yeah, he's finding out all the things we'd want to know. JFK?
Yeah,
didn't see that coming.
That would be interesting. And now he knows how to get into this bank vault or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's kind of, but like, you're taking in, we see the whole city, it's all coming in there.
Yeah.
Well, you have to imagine that the majority of people who live in Gotham City are basically worthless.
Right.
They have nothing in their dumb head that's worth having. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
So this here is another installment of what happens all the time in these movies, which is Batman killing but not actually killing.
Right.
Which is the same as Batman killing.
Right. I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you.
Yeah.
That's the one that comes to mind.
Like right here. Well, Harvey, you should. I mean, he spent the whole movie telling Dick, don't kill him.
Right.
He 100% kills him. Right here where he falls. Hey, guess what? That is on his conscience.
Yeah. It could be, I mean, just this is a bad version, but he's going to flip the coin and realizes like he'll put himself, like he'll fall if he does, or he's in a precarious hanging situation. He's like, don't, like, think for yourself, Harvey.
Yes.
You know, and then it's like the coin that's his undoing or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like it's the movies do this all the time, right? They have to you have to have the moral victory of not killing the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. But you have to kill the bad guy.
You still have to kill the bad guy. So they
right.
do this all the time, you know?
Yeah.
There we go.
Then you got his kind of...
There's Elton John after a bender.
Right. Yeah, so they had that sort of goofy 90s, like, we can make heads look squishy kind of stuff going on earlier. Now he is deformed from absorbing all that information. That would have been really funny if now he was spouting off random things that you could care less about, but it damaged his brain a little bit.
Yes, exactly. See, so right here. Now, not because I have to be, because I choose to be. Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of silly given that there hasn't been the build up to it. But if you include the stuff about his sort of the anguish, right? Like I think the goal was to move him past his trauma. Right? Which kind of makes sense. Like the idea that he's doing this not for the child, but he's moved past that and says, "But I'm able to do so much good as Batman. That's why I keep doing this."
Right.
I've put my trauma behind me, but there's still good I can do. Well, that makes sense. But it doesn't. I don't know. This character, by the way, is Dr. Burton,
who has like a Burton wig.
Yeah, and he's played by Rene Auberjonois, who just passed away recently. He used to be on Benson, and he was on Deep Space Nine also. Okay.
It is. I mean, that's a very '90s Burton hair.
Very much.
Right. That's very funny. So Arkham, this is the first time we've seen Arkham in a film, right?
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Because I remember thinking that was pretty cool.
I didn't even think about that, but you're absolutely right. Yeah. Wow. That is cool. But you know what's funny is I think both in this one and the next one, they just assume an asylum is the same as a prison.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
Look at it. He's dressed up like the Hamburglar.
Right.
I mean, and it's like a mental health institute.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? There's like bars on the window, you know?
Yeah, I love it. It's sort of like Blade Runner too. There's like a random fan with like smoky light going,
Yeah.
through the top. But hey, it looks cool. Look at that. This looks like a stage show, doesn't it? With like all the smoke on the ground, and then the.
It is very stagey. We should mention that. I mean, these 4 movies are sort of suffocating for how insular they are. I mean, there's not a piece of location footage to be found, as far as I can remember.
Yeah. I love this too, by the way. Speaking of her being a good doctor, she's like, "Here, take this voodoo doll." And then he's like, "Yeah, I think I'm better. Here, you can have your voodoo doll back." Like, what the? What?
Alfred's like, she'll be dumping her again soon, too.
Yeah, right. Enjoy it while it lasts, Miss Meridian.
Another notch on the bedpost.
Right.
So this shot right here coming up, right, where we have them running out from behind the signal and we have the music playing. Not gonna lie, I mean, when I first saw this, I was like pumped, man.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I agree.
And then in the third one, they ruin it because they have Batgirl running with them too. I'm like, yeah, you ruined this movie.
That's so funny. Yeah, that looks cool.
I think it's a good shot, and I'm fairly certain that is neither Val Kilmer nor Chris O'Donnell.
Oh, good point. I didn't even think of that.
Right. That shot does bug me, though, because if you pay attention to Batman, his ears are kind of wobbling.
Oh, really? I didn't even look or notice.
Yeah, it's very distracting.
Well, I will now.
Now you can go back and watch it again. So now, and then we kick into the U2 song.
Yeah. Oh, Jon Favreau's in this. Forgot to point that out. He plays a Wayne executive.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. I forgot to look for him, too. I've never seen him.
You know what's funny? You know, my kid, my second, pointed that out to me.
Really?
He's like, is that Jon Favreau?
Wow, good eye.
That kid, man. Yeah, he's good at that type of stuff.
Huh.
Yeah, and then this is followed by "Kiss from the Rose," and then the whole soundtrack album comes up after that. Wow, Batman Forever! Look at that project consultant Bob Kane.
Bob Kane.
Yeah, Bob Kane. So thoughts on Batman Forever, Brian?
It's like it's never one that I would pick off the shelf to pop in.
Sure.
But if it's on cable, I mean, it's a visually stimulating and silly and fun, goofy excursion. It's totally fine.
Well, there we go. That's right.
I mean, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, what would you say? How would you put it?
It is not a good movie, but I enjoy what it represents in terms of my life when I saw it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Like when I think of it, I think back to being, let's see, I was going into my junior year, between sophomore and junior years when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just remember that. I remember the good times, Brian.
That's funny because going back to our conversations about memories, of theater-going memories, I do remember seeing this in the theater, but I wouldn't have been able to place what age I was. I just remember the experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would have been going into your sophomore year.
Yeah, that feels right. Yeah, 15. Yeah.
I mean, this was a packed summer. I mean, you had Batman Forever, but you had, Braveheart and Apollo 13 and Congo, Got to remember Congo. So I remember that whole, just the excitement of summer movie season. And, it's like, oh, we got a Batman movie in there,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's something very special about that for me. I was reading Batman comics at the time, and this certainly, in many respects, felt more comic booky, and I appreciated that. But it's like cotton candy, where you appreciate it in the moment, and then the more distance you have, you're like, well, that did kind of make my teeth fall out, So I remember appreciating the ways it was different from Batman Returns, and at the time considering it an improvement, but with the benefit of absolutely at the time for sure.
Yeah.
But with the benefit of hindsight, I've come to appreciate Batman Returns a lot more, and so I'm saddened by what we didn't get. But I can still appreciate this one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's funny because, at the time, I definitely wanted more Batman. Maybe not Returns per se, but I definitely wanted more Burton Batman.
I certainly I wanted more Michael Keaton, and that's still
Yeah.
something I'm like, man, we could have got like 3 or 4 Michael Keaton Batmans, What
It would
would that
have been fun to have wrapped it up sort of in a trilogy.
Yeah, which again, at the time, that wasn't in the cards. Mm-hmm. It does feel like Christopher Nolan is the first guy to be like, nope, I'm just going to finish it, and you do what you want after.
Yeah, good point.
I don't think that was even in the cards when Nolan started.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was his claim, right? Where he was like, I'm only thinking one movie at a time. I'm not thinking this, yeah.
Like, I think that The Dark Knight achieved such a staggering degree of success that he had the clout, the instant clout, to be like, yes, I will come back under this condition. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you do what you got to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, hey, that wraps up Batman is Not Forever, it turns out. It is only 2 hours and 2 minutes, so...
Yeah. I would say feels just right.
There you go.
Yeah.
I will say this, by the way. Speaking of the title, I remember when the title was announced, I was like, huh? I do remember being a little weirded out by that, but now it's just kind of, we just accept it. It's like the Phantom Menace. We're just like, well, yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, I feel like Tim Burton even said, I was reading somewhere, he's like, it sounded like a bad tattoo someone would get. Like Batman Forever.
He probably, the first time he noticed that was when he cashed the check.
Right.
Like, 4 services on Batman Forever? What the fuck?
Yeah, totally.
Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed, like I said, our pandemic playlist.
Yeah, it begins.
It begins. So let's see. Let's see. How
What else do we grab in the bunker?
I know, exactly, right? I assume we're going to be back soon with another. I would fully expect we're going to be doing more commentaries than we necessarily had planned, and I'm looking forward to all of it. Mm-hmm. Our next commentary track is going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990.
I cannot wait.
So that'll be a good one.
Yeah. Spoiler, I still like that movie. So.
Me too.
I can't wait to gush on it.
Oh, my goodness. So we'll be back soon talking about that. But in the meantime, if you have suggestions for what you'd like to hear us talk through, let us know. You can email us at moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com. You can also hit like on our Facebook page, facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast, and message us there. If you're looking for me, you can find me at my website, Zackie'sCorner.com, or you can just find me on Twitter at Zackie'sCorner. And I'd love to hear everything you have to say. Also, be checking out the Nostalgia Theater Show. Look into those archives to see my discussions with John Trumbull about Batman, the animated series, and look into our movie film archives for commentaries on Batman 89, Batman and Robin, and The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So we've accrued quite a few. Yeah,
yeah.
I expect later this year we'll be back to talk through Batman Begins.
I'm into it.
Yeah, that movie turns 15 this year.
Wow, and I remember where I was when I saw it.
Me too.
Yeah.
So that's coming up later this year, but in the meantime, on behalf of my partner Brian Hall, my name is Zackie Hassan. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll catch you next time.